And Deeptika Laurent joins me in the studio. Good to see you, Deepti.
Hi, Rachel.
Now, it's still all about the assassination of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi in Istanbul's Saudi consulate. World leaders are facing quite a conundrum over how to deal with the fallout from this scandal, from this crisis.
That's right. You have international anger building over the Saudis' handling of the scandal, in certain countries like Germany now saying it will suspend arms sales to the Saudis. As for the Spanish daily El Periódico, it's not so easy for Spain. Spain is the 7th largest arms exporter to Saudi Arabia, with trade deals valued at 17 billion euros. Spanish leader Pedro Sanchez, the paper says, is in a complicated equilibrium because cynically the paper says that the criticism he'll cop for not ending the arms exports is a lesser evil compared to the eventual rupture of such lucrative contracts with the Saudi monarchy. So where do you draw the moral line, I guess? But he's not the only one. Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan has given one of his first interviews to the foreign press, this time to British daily The Independent. He's heading to Riyadh for that business forum that's been boycotted by a lot of international attendees. He can in this interview, he tells The Independent that Pakistan is simply desperate for money. If they don't get it from their allies, Saudi Arabia, they'll have to turn to the IMF, and that'll come with heavy strings attached. He does, though, admit that, I quote, "What happened in Turkey has shocked all of us."
OK, well, moving on to another story that's also full of intrigue, and that is the kidnapping of Africa's youngest billionaire in Tanzania.
His name is Mohamed Dewji, a 43-year-old billionaire who was seized earlier this month from a hotel gym in the capital of Tanzania, Dar es Salaam. Last week, he was returned home safely after a police hunt and a series of arrests were made. He attributed divine intervention for his release. That's what Africa News says, without really offering any more details on the situation around his kidnapping. The British daily The Times, though, says it could be indicative of something more sinister. Dewji did serve as an MP briefly, but his celebrity is really derived from his family's self-made wealth, philanthropy, and his stake in a football club. This makes him a threat to the ruling President Magufuli, who's known for making his opponents, rivals, and critics disappear. Add to that rumors that military-trained South Africans were allegedly involved in the kidnapping, that the hotel's CCTV footage strangely produced no incriminating images, and all of this taking place in supposedly a safe neighborhood. You have all the ingredients for yet another intriguing plot.
OK. Well, here in France, aides to President Emmanuel Macron have revealed that being the leader of this country is starting to take a toll on him.
Even for Macron, can you believe it, Rochelle? He's only 40, but his inner circle says his first 18 months have simply exhausted him. He's lost weight. He looks exhausted and hollow-cheeked, I'm quoting there. Scandals, a lack of sleep, slumping popularity. Macron reportedly sleeps just 3 to 4 hours a night. Not to mention late nights, hectic travel. It's all starting to show on his face. For info, he's already made 66 foreign trips and 3 times as many trips in France in just a year and a half. He can also look forward to aging even more. We all know the toll that it took on President Barack Obama.
Well, hey, no one ever said that the job as president was easy. Now, in the US, a display at the controversial Museum of the Bible has been found to be fake.
Well, the Museum of the Bible, I'm not sure if you remember this story. It's a $500 million museum erected by evangelical billionaire Steve Green, not too far from the White House. Well, he's well known for his ultra-conservative views on contraception. Now, at this museum, 5 of the most valuable exhibits purporting to be Dead Sea Scrolls have actually turned out to be fake. And the Daily Mail says 90% of the museum's Dead Sea Scroll collection might be fake. I mean, if you're going to spend $500 million on a museum, you might want to check the authenticity of your exhibits.
90%, that's enormous. Well, finally, Deepti, a hitchhiker in Australia has had the ultimate ride. I love this story.
It's a great story, isn't it? Scott Hildebrand, he was just hoping to get a hitchhiker ride from Brisbane Airport to Byron Bay, the popular coastal resort, for those of you who don't know it. Well, he happened to come across Thor actor Chris Hemsworth and a buddy. Scott says he didn't really know who they were, and he was a bit nervous because he saw that they were filming the whole thing. It turns out that Hemsworth ended up giving Scott a ride to a helipad, where they then took a helicopter to Byron Bay. Hemsworth admitted on Instagram that he was relieved that Scott didn't turn out to be a serial killer. He posted that video online. Predictably, it's gone viral.
Yes, I haven't seen it yet, but I will have to check it out. I did hear that that Chris Hemsworth joked to him about sort of pitching in for fuel money.
That's
only
right.
a sort of a few $1,000s if you want to help out with fuel money. Deepti, thank you so much for that. Deepti Kalan there with the press review. Remember, for more on those stories, catch up with the press review on our website. That's France24.com.